Would you like a Coca-Cola, sir?
Why, yes, young man, thank you.
That'll be 5 cents, please.
Now he's one of the richest men alive. While other kids his age were spending their allowance on candy, a 6-year-old in Omaha was already running a business, buying Coca-Cola by the pack and selling it bottle by bottle for a profit. His name was Warren Buffett, and that nickel and dime hustle was the first brick in one of the largest fortunes in history. This is the story of how a quiet kid with a paper route turned tiny habits into wealth that outlasted everyone around him.
Good afternoon. Would you like a Coca-Cola?
Oh, yes, please.
Here you go.
And the secret isn't a lucky stock.
Chewing gum,
It's
ma'am?
something he
Only
started
5
doing
cents.
before most of
I'll
us
take
could
one,
ride a
dear.
bike. Omaha in the 1930s was not a place that made billionaires. The country was crawling out of the Great Depression. Money was tight, jobs were scarce, and a dollar meant something. Warren's father sold stocks for a living, so the boy grew up hearing about numbers at the dinner table. But while other kids spent their pennies, Warren did something strange. At 6, he bought 6 packs of Coca-Cola from his grandfather's grocery store for 25 cents. Then he walked the neighborhood and sold each bottle for a nickel. 6 bottles, 30 cents. A 5-cent profit on every pack. It sounds like nothing. But to Warren, that nickel wasn't candy money. It was a seed. He sold chewing gum the same way, knocking on doors, keeping careful track of every sale in a little notebook. He wasn't playing shopkeeper. He was learning that money, handled right, makes more money. By 11, he was ready for something bigger. He bought his first shares of stock, 3 for himself, 3 for his sister. Almost immediately, the price dropped. His sister reminded him every single day that they were losing money. Warren felt the pressure, the doubt, the fear that he'd made a fool of himself. So when the stock finally crept back up, he sold and made a small profit, relieved to be out.
Poof, no loss.
But that wasn't the part that shaped him, because right after he sold, that same stock soared. Had he simply held on and done nothing, he'd have made many times more. It was a brutal lesson for a kid, and it stuck for life. The hardest part of getting rich isn't buying or selling, it's waiting. He didn't quit. He doubled down on the same quiet habits. A morning paper route at 13, where he memorized which customers paid and timed his deliveries to the minute. He saved nearly all of it. Then he and a friend bought used pinball machines for a few dollars, placed them in barbershops, and split the coins. One machine became several. The boy was no longer trading hours for money. He was building little engines that earned while he slept. By the time he finished high school, Warren had saved thousands of dollars, a small fortune for a teenager in that era. Then came the slap. He applied to Harvard Business School, the dream school, and they rejected him, flat out. The kid who had done everything right, saved, worked, and planned since he was 6, was told he wasn't good enough. It felt like the door to his future had slammed shut. But that rejection was about to hand him the luckiest break of his life. It pushed him to Columbia University instead, where he studied under a professor named Benjamin Graham, the man who would teach him how to truly invest. The no that crushed him led him straight to the one mentor who shaped his entire fortune. From there, the snowball just kept rolling. The same habits: spend little, save relentlessly, reinvest everything, and never ever risk your good name, compounded for decades. Buffett built a reputation so clean that people trusted him with billions on a handshake. He guarded that reputation like his most valuable asset because he understood it took a lifetime to build and minutes to lose. The boy with the Coca-Cola bottles became the most respected investor who ever lived. So, here's what his story hands you. Buffett didn't get rich from one big break. He got rich from one small habit, repeated for 80 years. Save a little, let it grow, and refuse to panic. You don't need a fortune to start. You need a nickel, a notebook, and the patience to leave it alone.